Hello, everyone. Welcome to Happy Life, Better Life. And welcome to this channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. So, today I wanted to talk about something that it's not really new to me, but it is becoming more and more, apparent as I listen to other women speak, as I watch women on different platforms and panels. And sometimes what happens is I see these women trying to get their point across and they end up monopolizing the conversation. Instead of you hearing from all the panel members, you have one person who just kind of takes up so much time trying to get their point across. And normally, this person is somewhat emotional in their stance in trying to convey their opinions or their thoughts. And this is something that a lot of people will not admit to. But I'm going to tell you the truth about what you're seeing when this happens. A lot of times, you will think you're talking to a 40 or 50-year-old woman. And this is even in relationships with husbands, spouses, different things like that, significant others. Sometimes women will just kind of go on and on. And when I was coming up, I'm going to say something that doesn't sound nice, but the older women who would talk to us and teach us and somewhat, train us, they were kind of giving us words of wisdom. They would say, don't get diarrhea of the mouth. And that's like a horrible statement, but it was a very true statement. What you see when you see women doing this, monopolizing conversations, going on, not letting things go, a lot of times, even though you're looking at a woman in their 40s and 50s, inwardly, they are still a little girl. A little girl who maybe when she was young didn't have a voice because oftentimes we were told to be seen and not heard, and you were not expected to say anything about anything. And a lot of times we had to learn early on how to shut ourselves down, how to shut ourselves up. And so you have women who are in the quest to not only find their voice, but use their voice. And so sometimes we do that in ways that are not constructive because this is the thing. Um, Wisdom is not found in the multitude of words. And I'm going to say that again. Wisdom is not found in the multitude of words. It's really better that we use our words sparingly or in ways that when we do have something to say, people will want to listen. People will want to hear you. And we as women have to deal with whatever that inadequacy is that we may feel or think or have. Because I grew up like that too. I grew up not really having a voice, like I said, being told to be seen and not heard. And then sometimes they didn't want you to be seen either. You were just, supposed to leave the room, go about your business. This is grown folks' business, those kinds of things. And so when I was in my 20s and stuff, I was just really adamant about having the ability to speak my mind, my opinion, and I guess in some ways fighting for myself. And then in time, I learned that really there's no point in fighting to be heard because most of the time, the people that really want to receive what you have to say, that are interested in your opinion and how you feel and what you think, you don't have to fight with them. You just don't. They are willing participants and they want to hear what you have to say. And then also, I also found that if I showed people the same courtesy to hear them out, to listen to them fully, to try to understand, to try to be compassionate, then it was sort of like they return that same gesture automatically. Now, some people can. I say sometimes people get in a state of arrested development. They haven't progressed beyond the point of their trauma. They haven't progressed beyond the point of whatever episode happened in their lives. It's something that I noticed even about people who have drug addictions and things like that. That you might be looking at a grown person, but at whatever age they started using drugs or whatever the case it was, most of the time they didn't mature emotionally and mentally beyond that point. So you had to learn how to sort of deal with them and speak to them and understand them at their level. And so I see the same thing sometimes with women when I watch them, whether it's on YouTube or television or different things, and they're just going on and going on. And the other people have gotten to the point where you can tell they've kind of zoned out. Um, that's something that we as women and men too, because men can do it too, we have to be able to identify about ourselves and then learn how to communicate effectively. Because, like I said, wisdom is not found in the multitude of words. You can go on and on and on, and people will still disagree or not hear you in the end. But you have to be wise in the words you choose to use and when you choose to use them. Because I'm going to be honest, sometimes you might know what's right or correct, but you have to also be able to survey what's around you, and you can tell whether it's going to be effective for you to say something in that moment or not, because sometimes it's just not the time, even though what you may want to say is good, accurate, and truth. You know, one thing that I do that I'm going to confess to you now, and it's something that when I was in my 20s and stuff, I hated it. It annoyed me so bad. I would be talking to my aunt or my grandmother, and it would seem like they had a point to what they were telling you, and they were getting there slowly, but you're looking and they're just going all around the mulberry bush, and they're into the weeds and into the bushes and out in the forest, and then they come back. And then you're like, so you had to say all that to tell me, couldn't you have just given me the abridged version? Well, I have a habit of sometimes doing the same thing. And I literally have to reel myself back in, because I tell you, I will go out there and I'll call myself laying the foundation for what it is I'm trying to say, laying the groundwork for what I want to say, but I will go out and I will get lost in those in those bushes and in the woods, and by the time I come back, I forgot what was the point I was trying to make. and and it's something a friend of mine, it annoys him so bad. I don't do this like generally, but if I'm just talking with someone I really feel comfortable talking with, yeah, I will go out and get lost in the woods, and they will say, and so what was the point you were making? And then I'll be like, I completely forgot. And it's a horrible thing. I'm not going to act like it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. It used to drive me crazy when my aunt and my grandmother did it, and now I find myself doing the same thing. I don't know if it's just in me. I don't know if it's because I grew up with it. But at the end of the day, don't do that either, ladies. Don't do that either. Try to, reel yourself right back in. That's what I try to do. So I just wanted to mention these things because I feel like women do want to be heard. They do want to be understood. And for some of us, that's like the greatest offense, for us to say something and then be misunderstood, or to not be received. But the truth is, we have to practice how we communicate. And the biggest part of communication is what? Most people forget this. It's listening. The biggest part of communication is listening. So I just wanted to share that. I just wanted to share that little tidbit. And I thank you for joining me here at Happy Life, Better Life. Don't forget to check us out on Etsy, Happy Life, Better Life store. Get your Happy Life, Better Life um, paraphernalia and clothes and all that kind of good stuff. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for joining me here. And stay tuned because I will be back again. Have a great day, and I want you to live a happy life and a better life. Bye bye.